Good evening.
Good evening. What should we start with? Reading update.
Oh, reading update. Yes. This week I have been reading it's a very delightful and heartwarming book.
Really?
Yeah.
Delightful and heartwarming horror.
Yeah, it's called, let me see. Die and Rot in Hell.
This
By
sounds
Harrison
very
Phillips.
delightful.
It's a very wholesome little tale, about
I don't know if you're kidding or if
kids.
it's actually the plot.
No, it's not heartwarming at all. It's a horror book about a bunch of kids who try and summon a demon, and they kind of succeed, but kind of not. So
Do
what
you
have you been
find
reading?
your reading pace has changed for the past few weeks?
Reading pace?
Is it like, do you feel like sometimes like, oh, this week I've been like reading so much, or this week it's been a bit slow?
Well, after Endless Night, I kind of went into a bit of a reading slump. I haven't really read a whole lot
Understandable.
since. Yeah, hard to follow it up, really.
Because the reason I'm saying is this week I've been reading like crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what about this week, but yeah, I think about more than 100 pages a day of different books, obviously. But
Wow.
yeah,
What's the book you've been focused on the most?
right now it's one called Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Now you should remember this author, Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson is one of my
Sounds
favorite fantasy authors.
familiar, but I can't quite place it.
He is the GOAT in fantasy, in modern fantasy. Well, this book was his debut novel, which was written in 2005. But yeah, they're saying it's not as gripping as his later books, but still, about halfway through, it's getting very interesting. Because with Brendan Sanderson, right? There's this term called Sanderlanche. So it's basically Sanderson Avalanche. So he is very popular for like last few chapters of his book. There's a very intense, fast-paced climax at the end, and like the story's pace suddenly shifts into high gear, and like different POVs and different character arcs. The hidden clues, they all clash together all at once.
So it happens very suddenly, like right at the end of the book. It just kind of...
Yeah, and all those mysteries and clues, it's just mind-blowing. Like everything just fits in place, gives you such a satisfying ending. And it's literally when that Sanderlanche begins, like you can't put the book down.
So it's kind of like the exact opposite of It by Stephen King.
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, based on what you've told me, because I haven't read the book, but based on what you've told me, yes, exactly the opposite.
Have I told you like what the entity turns into at the end?
No? Would this be a spoiler who still wants to read it?
Perhaps, but it is
Okay.
really funny.
I think you mentioned it, but I can't remember.
It's just a really big spider.
We were talking about It, right? The clown.
Yeah,
Pennywise turns into a spider.
a giant spider.
Yeah, I'm so glad I haven't. You know, I actually started reading It a long time ago.
Oh, really?
I just couldn't continue.
Oh, so you do have a DNF. You do have one DNF, huh?
Oh,
Wow, caught you,
yeah.
caught you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's like one and only DNF I've ever had. Oh, that's right.
Wow.
Because this was such a long time ago. And you know how
Abby's
chunky the book
first
is,
DNF.
right?
Yeah, it's huge.
My God, yes, I do have a DNF.
Wow, I learned something about you today.
I mean, technically speaking, I'll eventually go back and read it. So it's
It
just
doesn't count as if you think, yeah, I'll someday probably go back and read this.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna read it again. I don't think, unless I got absolutely nothing to read. Anyway, the Elantris, the premise is quite interesting because it's his debut. Like I said, once a shining city inhabited by godlike people, and ordinary people were randomly transformed by a process called the Shayod, and they turn into these godlike beings by this random transformation. But then about a decade before the book starts, that magic fails for whatever reason, and now the Sheol still takes people, but instead of ascending them, they become like grey, cursed, like horrible beings. So people had to lock everyone in this city of Elantris and wall them off, and the guards guarding the doors, and they try to figure out what happened to the magic.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
But yeah, I'm waiting for the standalone for this book. I don't know if it's going to be as strong as other books because this is his first novel, but I've never been disappointed by Brandon Sanderson. So, and if you forgot, the fantasy trilogy that got me into fantasy is the Mistborn trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is also by Brandon Sanderson, and it had the most insane ending.
Is it in a series or is it a standalone?
3 books in a trilogy. Oh no, technically there's several eras. But when they say Mistborn trilogy, they normally talk about the first trilogy, which is the most famous one out of all the other ones. Because what he's doing is, which is also interesting, he's planned for several eras of Mistborn. The first era is sort of like a fantasy setting, in a typical fantasy setting. And the second era, I think, which has also finished, which has 4 books, is set in industrial era. Like the steampunk kind of era.
Oh, yeah.
And the planned 3rd era and 4th era. So 3rd era, he said he's gonna, the book will be set in modern world, and era 4 will be in the future.
Okay.
Very interesting. Because the premise of Mistborn is people can ingest powders of metals. Like, depending on what metal they ingest, they can have different abilities.
What metal would you ingest?
Based on the book or just in general?
Just in general.
Mercury.
I've heard that that's actually really healthy and good for you to do, and you should definitely...
First I have to get my hands on mercury first.
Timo.com, mercury. So is Elantris related to the series
Not really,
at all, or is it kind of its own thing?
Elantris is a standalone.
Yeah.
But Sanderson has this very interesting concept, similar to Marvel Universe. So his books are all like different series. They show different world, but they're all part of this big universe called Cosmia.
Oh.
There are some recurring characters that can jump around different worlds, which appear in multiple series. But you can read the series, or there are multiple standalones in series that you can read just by themselves. But there is this overarching entity that can jump around different world within the same universe called Cosmia. Yeah.
So it's like the Sanderson cinematic universe.
Yeah, it's not as not as forefront as the actual Marvel cinematic universe or anything like that. But there are certain references, definitely references to other series. But it's like one of those you don't have to know those to fully appreciate the series. Anyway, I was in the middle of... I was going to say this week... Oh, no, I did say that. Yeah, I've been reading a lot. I don't know why.
Do you think it's possibly to do with our book this week? Having reinvigorated your passion for reading?
Not really.
Wow, rude.
I mean, it would have had some impact for sure, but I think more because, I started like a whole dozen books earlier this year. And because I've been reading chapter by chapter, like in cycle, rotating. And now I got to the point where I'm reaching the end of those books. So I feel like, I can sit down longer, read more chapters, because usually I read one chapter and move on to the other book, unless it's super interesting. But now most of those are getting towards like the second half and the last third of the book. I can't put down. That's probably why.
I have a very important question for you regarding your reading behaviors.
Okay.
Do you have your allocated reading time and sit down and consecutively read a chapter from each book? Because that would drive me insane.
What do you mean? Do I dedicate a time to read, or?
Say you've got an evening free.
Okay.
in this mythical universe,
Yeah.
which probably never ever occurs,
Yep.
you've got a whole evening to yourself. Would you, do a chapter of one book and then go, that was good, then immediately switch to a different book and do another chapter, and then another book and another chapter? Or would you stay reading the same book for a few chapters?
Now, the default is I try to read one chapter at a time and then move on to the next book. Unless after finishing, unless if the chapter was really short, then I'll say, oh, I'm going to read another chapter, because it was just too short. Or if the plot is getting very interesting, then I'll just keep reading it.
Oh, so you, generally speaking, will read a chapter of one book, then a chapter of another book, then a chapter of another book.
Yeah. But then that's what I used to do. But now, cause like I said, that I'm reaching towards the end of a lot of those books, I tend to just continue reading what I'm reading, even like 3-4 chapters.
It's very different from me, because when I get hyperfixated on a book, that's all I want to read. And then, like, say I'm reading in the middle of reading one book. Yep. And then maybe I forgot the book at home, or I didn't bring my Kindle to work with me on my lunch break. So I go into the Kindle app and I start reading something else. Yeah. If that something else is really good, I immediately have to finish reading it. I won't go back to the first book until the second one's already done.
That's another thing, because Endless Night was an exception. When I was reading Endless Night, I just read Endless Night. I didn't read any other book. And because I think the typical books that I read, they're very slow paced and they've got a lot of build up. So it takes time until I reach that point where I'm so hooked.
There's definitely a difference in pace with with tonight's book of discussion. That's for sure.
All right, why don't we get into it?
Sounds good.
Okay, so today we're talking about Endless Night by Richard Laymon.
And this publisher is very interesting. I hadn't really done any research into him other than knowing that he was kind of an iconic horror writer. Before I read this book, and then I got really interested in his other works, and so I went to do a little bit of digging on him. And I think I mentioned this before, and it's a funny callback to last week as well. He published under a lot of pseudonyms. Yep. So some of the ones that I found was Carl Laymon, which he used. Oh,
really? But that's still Richard.
Yeah, Carl Laymon, which he used exclusively for his young adult novels. Yeah. And then there was Carla Laymon, which he used for his romance novels.
Had to be female name.
Yeah. He's like, I'm too embarrassed to publish this one as a boy. And then he also wrote, I think, a Western novel under Lee Davis Willoughby, which...
that's random.
I know. All of his other pseudonyms seem at least slightly related to his name, but this one's just completely out of the blue. But he was actually an English teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, and he worked in a college library as well. It was really interesting. When he first started releasing his books, he initially had no success in America. He was kind of virtually unknown, despite getting a lot of really good reviews from similar horror writers at the time. Yeah. So, like, Stephen King and Dean Koontz reviewed his work pretty highly, but he just didn't really take off in America. It was more in the UK and Europe that his books garnered quite a following, which his theory was always that one of his first books, called The Woods Are Dark, was super heavily edited before it was able to be released.
I did read, that book got butchered by the publisher.
Yeah, apparently like something like 50 pages were removed from his original draft. Yep. And when you think about how quick at least this book was in terms of pacing, imagine how much of the story would have been in those 50 pages.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He did eventually get some notoriety in America after his release of The Cellar in 1999.
This is another Splatterpunk?
I I don't know if it. I think it's definitely a horror one.
Okay. Yeah.
It's one of his more famous ones, I believe, and I think it's part of a trilogy,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. It's one that I bought a really shitty second-hand copy of on eBay late at night.
Is that the second book that you got from Laymon?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
This is the only physical copy of a Laymon book that I have, but I'm so excited to procure more because I just absolutely love the way that he writes. And I think the time when he was most active in his writing career is also it was a kind of time when horror writing was shifting. It was almost like a lot of authors during that same period, like Jack Ketchum, for example. They were really kind of pushing the boundary of
Edward Lee.
starting on extreme horror, you know, kind of pushing the boundary of what's acceptable, what can be published, that kind of thing.
So he's one of the first writers that started the genre, you reckon, of Splatterpunk?
I think...
I know he's iconic in the genre.
I don't know, actually. I wonder what the earliest Splatterpunk...
But you can't deny Laymon was one of the pillars, like, of the genre.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He was, I think the earliest novels, according to Google, in the Splatterpunk series were, like, right around mid-1980s. And this book was published 1993.
Yeah.
So it was definitely, he was one of the, I think some of his earlier works were, because he published from 1980 to 2008.
Yeah.
So he was definitely a part of that movement towards extreme horror, splatterpunk, super scary, super gory, super sexy kind of books. I just thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And especially the horror genres in the 80s and 90s. We did briefly touch it last episode, but because of the setting where there's no mobile phones, it just makes it so special to have it, like, read a horror genre from that time period.
Oh, absolutely. Because
It makes everything so much more thrilling, and the suspense, it's just, definitely significant.
It ups the stakes, for sure. Because you've not got a little microcomputer in your pocket that you can press a button and send out an emergency call.
Yeah.
You have to have a landline. You have to know where that landline is. And you have to hope that that connection is still there.
That's right. And the thing is, you and I both, I think, grew up in that era, so we can relate.
Yes.
Like our childhood. Well, we're gonna discuss it, but like in the Endless Night, they're having a sleepover, and we've been there. Everybody's been there in the 90s, and we can sort of take a little time machine in our head, go back to that time. We can sort of put ourselves into those victims or those, like, the characters in the book, and we can definitely relate. But it's something that, like, Gen Zs and like later generation kids will never understand.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I feel like as time goes on, it'll be less and less, like, sought out, like the genre itself. I feel like, which is not a big deal. I mean, people are still going to look for these kind of genres and get a kick out of it. But I feel like there'll be less and less people who will truly appreciate the terror or the horror.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you asked me to take a trip back in my head to having a sleepover when I was a kid, there would be no way that I'd be able to tell you where a landline is in anyone else's home.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was an emergency.
And you had to memorize your parents', like, phone numbers or your home phone numbers or emergency contact.
Yeah, you couldn't just look that up.
Yeah, that's right.
I think part of the reason that older horror books are so compelling is because many of the pitfalls of modern horror is it's just completely implausible.
Exactly,
because there's so many avenues to seek help.
Yeah.
Nowadays. So in a book like this, it feels so much more visceral and terrifying because so many of the resources that we take for granted are completely removed.
So it's the horror books nowadays, I think they gravitate towards more of a either psychological horror, being very disturbing and unnerving, or something supernatural. I feel like I don't know if any modern horror books would sort of evoke the similar emotion as this book or books from 80s or 90s. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is, like I said, it's like very the visceral element of it. I don't know if modern modern horrors can do as good job as books from 80s or 90s.
Yeah, I think you're definitely correct in that they mainly stick to either psychological or paranormal horror. I haven't really read anything that's quite as impactful as this story in a modern setting.
Yeah, because you can't have a murderer running around with machete nowadays.
Yeah. Not with about 10 people like taking out their phones and and posting it to Facebook Live or TikTok Live, you know. There's no sense of anonymity, you know. You can't really... Yeah. If you're seen by someone, you're seen by everyone.
I mean, unless you're living in the middle of nowhere, but...
That's true, yeah. But
yeah,
that's not very common
rare.
nowadays. So would you like to discuss a little bit about the plot?
Yep. So, the plot.
The opening of this book, I feel like, is the most impactful. Because when I started this book, I wasn't really expecting anything. I was like, yeah, okay, iconic horror writer, but I've been disappointed by, you know, some iconic horror writers previously. So let's see what all the hype is about. The book opens with our main character and protagonist, Jodie, having a sleepover. And I guess inciting incident is her friend wakes her up.
That's like the first few sentences of the book.
Yeah, wakes her up because she hears what she thinks is glass shattering.
Yeah.
Jodie does not really give a shit. She's like,
just let me sleep.
Yeah, let me go back to bed, man. Evelyn is insistent that they check it out because she's quite scared. She opens the door of her bedroom and immediately gets speared straight through the stomach by an unknown intruder. At this point, the intruder has not seen Jodie, so she kind of just hides in the dark of the bedroom until the intruder takes Evelyn, still speared, mind you, and kind of walks away. Now, at this point, like, I'm not going to go into spoiler territory, but I'm going to describe, I guess, the initial confrontation. At this point, Jodie thinks, I got to skedaddle. I got to get out of here.
Right now. I got to get the hell out of here.
And she's kind of ticking through things in her brain. She's like, okay, escape. I can't reach the landline phone. The landline phone is in Evelyn's parents' room, so that's not an option. I need to get out of the house. I need to go by the front door. And then she thinks, oh shit, Andy. Andy is Evelyn's younger brother who's in the bedroom adjacent. And she thinks, what if he's alive still? I need to get him and get out.
For context, Jodie is, I think, like 16, 17 years old and Andy is 12, 13-ish.
Yes,
so, yeah.
So Jodie, doing her best to be sneaky, she crawls through that hallway. She gets into Andy's room and she's like, Andy, we gotta go. We gotta go right now. There's some bad people here and they're kind of doing some bad stuff. We're probably gonna take off right now. Andy, understandably, is freaking out. He's like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, your sister's like a little bit dead and I don't know what's going on with your parents, but the prognosis doesn't seem terribly good.
And he was initially very skeptical, right? Thinking this was a whole prank.
Yeah, he thought it was a prank.
Which, admittedly, like in his defense, no one would believe that's actually happening. Like, if I was in a sleepover, if someone wakes me up in the middle of the night saying there's a crazy murder in the house and your sister just got stabbed by a spear, like
yeah, who in their right mind would go, yes, this seems like an accurate portrayal of something that may happen, and that I am in mortal danger. We must escape immediately. Yeah. So initially he's quite skeptical. But I think eventually he kind of cracks on to the fact that Jodie is petrified.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we gotta get out of here immediately. They hear someone coming down the hallway, and Jodie, or is it in the hallway or is it like down the stairs that this happens?
This guy does come into the room.
Oh yes, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because Jodie attacks him.
Jodie, being a very resourceful young woman who was
feisty.
raised... Yeah, she is very self-reliant. She's got to do what she's got to do. She grabs a baseball bat and she caves in one of the intruders' heads with this baseball bat.
Just smash the skull.
Just smashes it in. Andy, being 12 years old at this point, immediately vomits everywhere. He's like, what is going on? This is the most horrifying experience that anyone of 12 years old probably has ever had to go through. And they eventually escape out of the house. And they go on a little bit of a run. And they are all the time being pursued by what we now know is a gang of killers. And that's where I'll leave the little intro bit at.
And that's like only like first chapter.
I know, it's only the smallest segment of the book. It really dives immediately into the action. You don't have a single second to take a breath in those first few chapters because you are just panicking the whole time.
If this was my typical book that I read, this is the climax. But you read it in the first couple of pages. That's why I was like, it was so refreshing to read something so different.
Yeah, I can imagine for you, especially reading generally slower books, it would have been quite jarring to jump into a book where it's immediately action. Because I don't even think we're off the first page before Evelyn gets stabbed.
And everything happens so fast. And
yes.
Because it happens so fast, I had to double back and say, what did I just read? Did he just get impaled by a spear by a crazy murderer? It got dragged out of her room?
Yes.
Is that really what happened? I had to...
And I think that really works to the book's advantage because this kind of frenetic, rapid pacing, especially at the start of the book, it almost immediately sets you on edge because you're almost visualizing Jodie's thought process as all of this is happening so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And she has to think of, what are my options? It really puts you in her brain and says, what are you going to do? What's the best option?
Yeah.
And another thing that I think was done really well is immediately you feel a sense of kinship with Jodie. She becomes a very likable character very quickly. She demonstrates that even in situations where it would have been easier to abandon Andy and just,
that's right,
save her own life, she wants to do the right thing. So not only is she quite selfless in that way, but she's also incredibly brave and resourceful and clever and quick.
Yeah, that's what I loved about her. So different from
Yes.
typical female characters from horror genre.
Yeah,
she's not a screaming
passive.
victim. She fights back, and she's tough, resourceful, so feisty, and he's like I said, very resourceful. It was very different to what I was expecting.
And I think that's one of the reasons why it's so easy to like her as a character, because she is her sense of morals is so strong. Immediately when presented with the situation of her best friend being murdered in front of her, knowing that the parents have likely already been murdered, she immediately thinks of Andy and how they can get out together.
That's right.
That kind of selflessness, that empathy, it's really endearing.
It is.
And it's not like she had to become resourceful throughout the book. She starts off being like, all right, he's coming this way, I'm grabbing the bat and I'm swanging. She's immediately like, well, you're going to get hit and you're going to get hit real hard.
And we also have to discuss the other character, which is, I think, also a huge part of the book. Another engine.
Yes.
Moving the plot forward. The murderer Simon.
Yes. So after the book gets underway a little bit, we're switched from third person to first person.
That was... I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the change of pace.
Yeah, that first person account comes from Simon, who is part of this murderous group called the Krulls. which, funny enough, is actually a little sprinkle of a little quirk from Richard Laymon, because the Krulls is actually a cult that he mentioned in one of his first books, The Woods Are Dark.
Oh, yes. I read about it. Yes.
A little bit of self-referential praise in there. Just
because Simon says they got the name Krulls from some old horror novel. But It turns out it's actually Laymon's.
And he's referencing his own material.
Yeah.
You love to see it. It's like when you're watching a movie and there's someone drinking a Pepsi and a label's facing right towards the camera. But yes, Simon is one of the characters that we get first person. He's recording his accounts of what he's doing in tracking down Jodie and Andy, and also kind of delving a little bit into the backstory of himself and the Krulls.
It's, I mean, I don't want to, it may sound weird, but I love the character Simon. Not his morality, obviously, but he was very memorable.
Yes.
He's chatty, he's smug, he's really funny in a way that makes your skin crawl. But yeah, and because when you're reading as a first person perspective, the reading Simon's part, you can't help but to relate to his thought process because you're reading his monologue.
Yeah.
So I think that made the book a lot more engaging than just having a third person perspective, just narrating what happened to Jodie. So I think in a way, how Laymon put Simon and his voice recording in between Jodie's chapters, it was done such cleverly, I think.
Yeah, and also the fact that the only person that we experience in first person is Simon. It's almost like Laymon's kind of inviting you into Simon's head a little bit, it increasing that level of closeness to make you uncomfortable, to make your skin crawl, because Simon is an abhorrent character. Like, he does some horrific things. Horrible things. He is disturbing and disgusting, and he has no sense of morals whatsoever. So putting in his segments in particular in first person, I thought was an incredible way of just disturbing the reader that little bit more. Because the view that we get of Simon is much more intimate than the one that we get of Jodie.
That's right. And he's not just a generic murderer with swinging machete. He's not a mute man in a mask or something. He has personality.
He does.
Like horrible personality. You can really see him as a vital character in the book, not just antagonist.
And another thing that I think that Laymon did that was very clever is, like you said, Simon he can be very funny in a very extremely dark way.
Yeah, that's right.
He is quite funny.
He's got a sense of humor.
He does, yes. And I think that really helps to break the tension of a book it's a very intense cat and mouse sort of chase. It's very full on. You don't get many breaks. And I think just that little sprinkling of very dark humor is enough to kind of break the tension a little bit, give the reader a little bit of a rest every now and again from just feeling on edge.
And I always loved when books or movies or TV shows do different POVs of the same event. I love it. So first chapter is Jodie trying to run away from the murderers, right? And try to get some help. But from the next chapter, next part, Simon sort of recounts that event, and then he records into a voice recorder like what he has done and what has happened, but totally from his perspective.
Because at the point when he gets the voice recorder, he's actually been kind of abandoned by the rest of the group. Because they've got quite cross at him because they believe that Jodie and Andy getting away is primarily his fault.
Yeah.
So they tell him, you better fix this or you're gonna be in deep trouble. So he's not only obsessed with catching Jody and Andy, but he's also really pissed at his friends in this murderous
Yeah, I know.
cult.
They abandoned him. Nobody
They
came to help
did.
him out or anything.
No, so he's pissed at everyone. He's running out of time to get these kids, and the threat is that if he doesn't get Jody and Andy in time, the rest of the group will slaughter and kill his family, which includes his fiancée and his two sisters, which he would obviously prefer to keep very much alive.
And Simon is very resourceful as well, just like Jodie, I feel like.
Oh, he is. He definitely is.
And very creative.
Yeah. Especially when he's in a pinch, he'll have some ideas. They're not necessarily good ones, but he'll have some ideas.
Oh, he will. Yeah. At any given situation, he'll get out of it. Like, I feel like he's that type of character.
Which is I think one of the pitfalls of this book is that some of the circumstances that he's put in are just not really that believable. There's a lot of instances where I was reading this book and I'm like, you're pushing it, Laymon. Like, I really don't think this is plausible in any way. But I'm having such a fun time that I'm just going to ignore that.
What did you think of the title? Endless Night?
Well, it's a lie.
It is a lie.
Because I was under the assumption from the title that it would be taking place over one night.
Yeah, me too.
Spoiler alert, it does not. It takes place over many days. So I think it could have been named more aptly. But, I remember being quite disappointed that I was like, I got to the end of, I think, like the third chapter, and I'm like, well, the night's over already.
Yeah. No, but my take is, emotionally and mentally, it has been night. Like, one long, continuous, endless night for them, for Jodie. I feel like.
And Andy as well.
Even though the night has passed, it's the daytime, even when she's... I don't want to reveal too much, but there is a point in the book where she's not really in danger, like immediate danger.
Yeah, but she's not free either.
Even so during the daytime, he still fears for Simon, who's coming after her. Yeah. So in a way, the whole event until the end of the book, the Jodie might be sort of in her head. She might be conceiving the whole series of events as a one big endless night.
Yeah, which it does make sense. I didn't consider it in that way because, I mean, any kind of traumatic experience, it kind of blurs your sense of time.
Yeah.
It feels like days go on for weeks or weeks pass in a matter of seconds, you know?
That's right.
So, yeah, I didn't really consider that when it came to the title. I just remember being ticked off that there was more than one night.
I mean, literally, if you look at it literally, yeah, it's a lie, but it's still under Simon's shadow. Like, wherever Jodie is. There's a
looming threat.
Yeah.
And it's made clear very, very early on after the initial struggle that no matter where you are, you're not safe.
Yeah. Until, either Simon or the entire gang is gone or dead. She'll never be safe.
Yes. Yeah. Because they make it clear that they're pretty keen on pursuing them for however long it takes.
Yeah.
So should we talk about some of the other characters in the book?
Yeah. What other memorable characters? Oh, Sharon and Jack. Oh, yeah. So, I love the chemistry between them.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, Jack is Jodie's father. He is a police officer. He's kind of a gruff man. He's got a huge scar on his face from being shot. He's a very practical man. He's very reassuring when he has Jodie. He's incredibly lovely.
He's a lovely father.
He's just a really good dad, and
well respected in his work as well.
And the other character that plays quite a large role is Sharon, and she's a police officer that initially kind of helps to protect Jodie and Jack, and she kind of gets, I don't want to say pulled along for the ride. She volunteers to come along for the ride.
You know, for me, that part, a bit hard to sort of get my head around.
The fact that Sharon was just so ready to drop everything.
Yeah, and then just follow this family. I mean, I was hoping... should I discuss this in the spoiler section? Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to read more about Sharon.
Yeah. Because she is a very interesting character. She's very capable.
Yeah. Very
She's
likable
very
as well.
strong.
I remember mentioning you that I really like Sharon. Like, I hope she doesn't die.
Because she takes Jodie kind of under her wing a little bit. Jodie doesn't really have a mother figure in the book.
Yeah, mother figure.
And it's almost as if Sharon steps into that role pretty seamlessly.
Yeah.
Like, she's very caring, very attentive, very reassuring. But she's tough as nails too.
Mm.
She will defend them with her life if she needs to.
I mean, personally, I think that part of the book was, I mean, where she volunteers and wants to join them, helping Jodie and Andy. It's one of the weak points.
It just doesn't seem realistic.
It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't seem realistic. It's just a minor thing.
But if we're on the subject of things that slightly pissed you off or made you go, in this book, I have some to add.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some that I would have to discuss in the spoiler section, of course, but...
Oh, okay. I mean, do you want to hop into spoiler now, or is there anything else you want to say? Oh,
There's one that I can discuss now
Yeah.
that I think it really pissed me off. So, the group, the murderous group, the Krulls, very early on in the book, it's detailed that they shave their entire bodies as to not leave any physical evidence at the scene.
Yeah.
First of all, they're engaging in some things that would very definitely leave physical evidence at the scene. There's going to be fluids there.
I was thinking that, but maybe because of that time period, maybe they didn't have...
Possibly. I didn't actually investigate what kind of forensic tools that they had at the time.
Forensic technology to determine the suspect with bodily fluids.
But you would think that, if they can identify bodily fluids, they can also identify hairs and things.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
And that really ticked me off. But also, they claim to, their outfits, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Made out of the skin of their previous victims. So they claim that any hairs that are left behind will be from completely unrelated people. That, again, ticked me off. Because after all this elaborate planning about how they're not going to leave any physical evidence behind hair-wise, they then burn down the buildings anyway.
Oh, true.
They burned down the crime scenes anyway.
That's right.
So, and a thing that took me completely out of it was when Simon was saying that, they shaved their whole bodies. I'm like, this guy's just walking around no eyebrows.
Oh, true. They shaved their eyebrows as well, right?
You would think so. If they're getting rid of all body hair, they would have to shave their eyebrows too. And so there is a scene later in the book where Simon is masquerading as a woman, and we're led to believe that this is a very convincing getup that he's in.
Yeah, I've never thought of that.
He even remarks he's actually quite turned on by himself in the mirror. He's like, damn, I'm kind of a cutie patootie right here. And the entire time I can't help but envision this completely hairless man, no eyebrows, in a dress, thinking, I pass as a woman. Right. And I'm like, you don't have eyebrows. You may pass as a strange woman, but you don't have any eyebrows.
It'd be so noticeable, like just walking around with no eyebrows.
Absolutely. And you would think that, if any of the crimes had been witnessed, it would be a prominent feature that would be mentioned. They're bald, they have no eyebrows.
And Jodie would have identified, tell the police that I'll look for the people who has no eyebrows.
Yes. Another thing that's entirely skipped over in this book is the amount of interviewing that would have to take place after an event, like the start of the book.
Oh.
And it's just not mentioned at all.
You mean, what interview, between Jodie and the police, or?
Yeah. Jodie and Andy and the police, it's kind of really
Oh,
not,
yeah, true. Not really. Yeah, they just
skimmed
right.
over.
Yeah, that's right.
They really don't discuss it at length. Which, I mean, at a stretch, I could say potentially to shield the kids from re-experiencing that trauma.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there would definitely be some questions that would need to be asked just for the sake of furthering the case.
No, I'm pretty sure they did. Like, not in the book, but like before they got home.
Yeah.
Like after the first night.
It's probably one of those things that was just
not
implied
mentioned.
rather than
Yeah,
mentioned.
just implied.
But the way it read to me, as someone who's used to horror and crime novels, I'm like, there should have been a lot more talking about this.
They should have, I mean, definitely mentioned
they could have
the
at least
lack of eyebrows.
Yeah. You would think that would be the first thing.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. It was a group of guys, you know, various ages, weight sizes, and
I mean, she did
they
say
had no
bald, but
eyebrows.
never mentioned eyebrows.
yeah. So the entire time I was thinking, if you shave all of your body hair, there has to be no eyebrows too, right?
Yeah.
I think it would honestly make them scarier.
Oh, yeah, it would be creepy as hell.
Yeah, definitely. I've removed my eyebrows before, and I can tell you what, it was I did not look very sane.
What made you shave your eyebrows off? What were you thinking?
Anytime I have some kind of personal crisis, I have to make a dramatic change in my appearance, even if it's not one for the better.
I mean, you could have just changed the color of your hair like you always do. Like, why did you have to shave your eyebrow?
I can't remember what was going on at the time, but I was like,
Must be the one hell of a crisis.
yeah, I think my crises go in stages of like, number one, change hair color, usually to something incredibly bright, like at the moment neon yellow, but I've done blue many times.
Yeah.
Number two is I bleach my eyebrows.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
that's all right.
Which is okay as long as I have my eyebrows penciled in. My poor partner can always tell when something's wrong when he comes home and the house smells like bleach and then my eyebrows are like pure white. And I'm like, hey, sweetie. And he's like, what's wrong? And then number three, I think, is where we reach the point of, like, at this point, I'm just doing shit and my eyebrows are gone and I have bangs and, like, that's when you know I've gone off the deep end.
Wow. You haven't done that recently, though, right? I don't remember you not having any eyebrows in the past few years.
No. Yeah. It wasn't recent.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was definitely a choice. It was a choice.
Even though you regretted it straight after.
Yeah, it's like every time I cut bangs, I do it and I'm like, you shouldn't have done that.
I get the bangs. I know girls, you know, they have bangs when they want to really change their style. Or have something very different. All right. Spoiler.
Yes.
Before we get into spoiler, I do want to discuss about one thing.
Yes.
You and I both read this as ebook on Kindle. I do want to discuss how different my experience was reading an ebook from a physical book. Because I mentioned it briefly to you, but almost every aspect, Kindle or the ebook readers are superior than physical books. Okay, first of all, it varies to carry around practically everywhere. Most e-readers are water resistant, so you can read it at the beach, bath, whatever. They also have built-in dictionary, which is super helpful, especially for someone like me whose English is not their first language.
I bet you wish you had that when you were reading Lona.
Oh yeah, yes.
You can just highlight a word in the book, and immediately have a definition.
That would actually make me have very a different opinion about the book, because now that I understand all the words he said. Anyway, that's a different topic.
Yes.
You can also read in the dark. With no extra light.
And I think that's one of the things that makes me gravitate towards my Kindle quite a lot, is because not only can I read it on the Kindle, which is very portable, but if I just want to read like a chapter or two before bed,
yeah, that's right.
I can do that without disturbing my partner.
I
I
missed
don't
that.
have to put a lamp on or
Yeah.
anything. I can just adjust the brightness so it's barely there. And I just snuggle in and I just have a little chapter or two before I go
Yeah, I missed
beddy
that
boys.
about ebooks. Because I do have a little clip-on reading light that you can clip on your book. But it's such a hassle to do that, instead
Yeah.
of just turning it on and it reads straight away from Kindle.
And my experience with those reading lights is that they're never good.
Oh, well, depends. Mine was okay. It lasts very long time as well.
Is it one of
But-
those ones with like the little bendy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You clip it on the thing, and then you can select the different color of the light and the brightness. I don't know. I mean, I had good experience with it. It's just that it's a hassle to put it on every time, and sometimes it goes out of battery, and I have to charge it again. And just annoying.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. And also, ebooks are usually cheaper than physical formats. And also, this could be my personal pro, but they're great if you've got sweaty hands.
Yeah.
I get super sweaty. Like, I have a condition, especially my hands. They get very sweaty. And obviously, when you read a physical book with the paper, it leaves a wrinkle. So I have to really be careful because I hate ruining my books or any books. So when a tip of my finger touches it, it wrinkles it because it's wet. So I have to hold it in a really awkward way with back of my hands, and have to flick the pages very carefully so I don't accidentally damage it. You don't have to worry about that with ebook. And there's no storage problem.
I need to get you a book clip.
Book clip?
Yeah.
What's a book clip?
It's a clip that clips the book open, so you don't really have to touch it that much.
I've seen that. Is that the one that you sort of put it like in the middle, like in the ridge of the book?
Yeah, and it just kind of holds it open for you, so you
but
don't really.
You still have to turn the pages
Yeah, I
with the
suppose
fingers.
so.
Yeah. And yeah, no storage problem. You don't have to have like a huge bookshelf to store all your readings. But like, despite all those, I still prefer paper, like physical books.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Is it like 50-50 for you, or
It's
which one do you
50-50
prefer?
for me because I really enjoy the portability of
Yeah.
ebooks, especially because I'll read on my Kindle and then I'll like go on my lunch break at work and I'll read it on my phone. I'll go out somewhere and I think, oh, I've got a little bit of time in the car.
Yeah.
Let me just read a chapter here on my phone.
Yeah, the accessibility. Yeah, because you can also read it from your phone as well. Yeah, that's
and
right.
one of the things that I really like about Kindle is the fact that it remembers what page you're up to no matter what device you're on.
Yeah.
So you just pick up immediately where you left off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one thing that you can never get from an ebook is the smell.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. The smell, I love it. That's maybe one of the biggest reasons I can't give up physical copies.
The smell of a good
the smell.
book.
And the tactile feeling of holding a book, the weight of it,
Yes.
turning a real page.
And the ability to intuitively tell in the book where you are just by holding it.
Yes.
Which is something that you can't get. Which
and
I
you can't
think,
keep going back and forth and
yeah.
because I
think-
love to. Yeah.
In this particular case with Endless Night, it was almost an advantage to read an ebook version because it was very hard to tell where you were in the story. So it almost added a little bit of tension there because you're like, I don't know how much more I've got.
Yeah. And for me personally, because I like to collect things, like physical things. So there's a stronger sense of collection with physical books, owning the object, not like licensing the file. Yeah, but that's, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely prefer. Not 100% physical book because ebooks do have very good advantage.
Yes, they do.
I'd say maybe 3, 7, 4, 6. I gravitate towards physical copy. But I miss it. I miss just sleeping in my bed under the blanket, get all warm and cozy, turn on the Kindle, just read 3 chapters before I go to bed. I miss that. And the other, I don't know if I should mention this, but no, maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, well, now you've said it, so you have to.
Because sometimes after everything's done before I go to bed, because mostly I read physical books. I read in my office or in like outside with the light on, right? And even after I finish reading the physical copy, when I go into the bed, I still want to read a few more chapters of whatever book. And currently, the only ebook that I have on my Kindle is Priest. And I don't know if for those who know what that book is about, it's not something that I want to read while I'm trying to sleep.
It's a much too titillating plot for right before bed.
It's just a backup. It's just a backup ebook. Like if there's no situation where I can read physical book, I'll just read it. But anyway.
Have you got Kindle Unlimited yet?
No, not yet. Because I want to slim down my current reads first before I get the subscription. But I will get it, definitely.
You would love it.
Oh, also because you did mention the audiobooks as well.
I believe so. Yeah, I haven't actually engaged with any of the audiobook content.
Yeah,
but
I think I've read the what Kindle Unlimited offers, and I think audiobooks were there because I do listen to audiobooks a lot as well, especially on commute or when I'm just out having a stroll. So I will definitely get the subscription.
Or chores as well. I like listening to an audiobook when I'm doing chores.
Sorry, one more thing about audiobook. Lord of the Rings, they also have a version with Andy Serkis narrating everything. Mm-hmm. Very good. He's done a superb job as well. You know Andy Serkis, right?
No. Who did?
I gotta ask you one very important question, so listen carefully. Depending on your answer, I might just stop the recording and just leave. Have you watched The Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, I have.
Okay. All right.
I just didn't know. I didn't know who it was that you were referring to.
He's the voice of Gollum.
Yeah, I looked him up and I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah. I watch it annually.
It's great.
That reminds me.
Great set of films.
It's time to watch another one this year.
It's about time.
Yeah. I
have the same thing with Godzilla X Kong.
No, I thought you were gonna say Twilight. Okay.
No, that too. Every now and again, especially during the colder months, I'm like, time to curl up and watch Twilight and then Godzilla X Kong. Two quintessential girly movies.
Really? Godzilla X Kong? Girly movie?
There is something, I don't know if it's specifically just in my family, but there's something about just giant creatures that is incredibly, girly to me.
I know you love Godzilla.
I love Godzilla.
And honestly, you got me into watching Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
And yeah,
because it's great. How could you dislike Godzilla?
I don't dislike them. I like them. I like Godzilla movies.
No one can dislike Godzilla. He's completely morally grey.
But is it
worth
watching every year? Rewatching?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Always.
Okay.
Here's my theory, okay? Godzilla is definitely for the girls, but King Kong is for the boys.
Nah, I'm Team Godzilla.
You're a girl.
Maybe I am. I love Godzilla.
I'm gifting you new pronouns as of today.
He,
all right.
Him, she, her. As long as it's not they, them.
Yeah.
Because I'm not plural.
Shall we get into spoiler talk?
All right, spoiler. From this
spoiler.
point on, it will be full-on spoilers, including the ending. Okay.
Where would you like to take off from?
That one sentence that freaked you out?
Oh, but then we miss all the context. Okay. So,
okay. All right. So we'll get to that later. All right.
We'll do a quick rundown of what happened.
Yeah.
So after the initial encounter, Jodie and Andy are on the run from these killers. They eventually find refuge in a neighbor's house. And it's an elderly woman that is, I guess, house sitting. And at this point in the book, I was thinking, okay, we're safe now.
Nah. No way they're safe there. I mean, I knew that old lady's gonna die.
So the killers break in and they massacre this woman. Andy and Jody escape by jumping off a balcony. Jody jumps into a pool, but Andy, he misses the pool and he really injures his ankle. So they are running and running and running. They eventually climb over a fence, which has a very steep drop. And they climb over the fence, roll all the way down into this almost like a ditch. And they hide out there. They hide out there for most of the night. They end up falling asleep for a little bit. They wake up. There's smoke in the sky. There's so many sirens.
Fire trucks.
Yeah.
Police. Yep.
And you think, all right, the worst has passed, you know, we're going to get out of this okay. Jodie's going to get some help. So she carefully, Andy at this point is still sleeping. She carefully makes her way up to the wall to climb over it. And I think at this point, Simon, he makes a break trying to get her because he's been camped out there the whole night as well. The rest of the group has already abandoned him, saying, you let these guys go. It's your job to find them and kill them. There can be no witnesses. So I think at that point, Jodie manages, I believe she manages to scale the fence.
She does, because the first part of the book is Jodie's account, and it ends with Simon. Well, at that time we didn't know it was Simon, but try to grab her ankle while she was climbing the fence. But he fails because he tripped over a vine or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she does make it. Yeah.
So she makes it. She's able to get help. We get a little bit of Simon's perspective. He's very ticked off that they've gotten away. Eventually, Andy and Jodie end up at her dad's place, where they're kind of just laying low. They've got huge police protection basically surrounding the whole house. They're trying to organize a relative to come and pick up Andy to look after him, because this poor kid's just had his entire family annihilated. Like, he's gone through immense suffering. He's incredibly traumatized by the event, and Jodie almost steps into like a mother type role with him. She's very concerned about his well-being. His relative comes to pick him up, and immediately everyone gets bad vibes. They are not pleased at all. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just kind of irritating. Yeah. Kind of annoying. Yeah. Eventually, Andy takes off with his relative, and it's just Jodie and Jack alone in the house. And Jack, being the kind guy that he is, decides, I'm going to grill some burgers for my police officer colleagues that are doing such a great job keeping an eye out on the house. So Jodie stays inside and she's making these burgers while her dad's outside on the grill, grilling away. And then she makes the mistake of opening the back door and stepping outside to deliver these burgers. Immediately she gets shot in the leg. Straight away. So that's when we get introduced to Sharon, who's one of the police officers that comes in to render aid.
Yep.
Whilst everyone kind of goes nuts trying to figure out where this bullet came from. As if that's not bad enough, they get a phone call from Andy's relative saying, Andy's gone missing. I can't find this little man. He gives them his address, which is a petrol station way out.
Yeah.
So they all decide, Jack, Sharon, and Jodie, they decide, well, we're going to go there. They take off to the petrol station. Andy's relative gets pissed off, goes back home, and Andy, Jack, and Sharon end up staying at a motel across the street, which is when Andy decides to make his presence known. Because he was actually hiding out, I think it was on the roof of the petrol station.
Yep.
He climbed up the door of the bathroom outside just so that he could get away from this guy. He's like, I don't want to be away from Jodie.
Yeah, he didn't want to go back.
Yeah, he's like, we've had some insane trauma bonding. We are now linked for life. We must not be separated. So the next few days just kind of follow the group as they staying in the motel and trying to, I guess, plan what their next moves will be. At this
In the
point,
meantime,
yeah,
Simon.
go on.
Oh no, you go on. You're
I
much
thought you were
better
going
at.
to interject.
Oh no! I just wanted to remind you. So while they're in the middle of in the desert, try to sort of plan what's going to happen next. We get Simon's POV again.
Yeah, and Simon is doing some crazy shit.
She is doing another thing, right? So he hides into this random person's house because police were doing some check around the neighborhood, and
Yes.
he kills a couple.
He does.
And when he get the scalp off that woman.
Yes, because he decides that he can't wear the clothes that belong to the gentleman because they won't fit him. So he decides that the next logical option is to wear the clothes of the woman that resided in the house. And he's trying on dresses and thinking, ooh, I'm so sexy. And he decides, it doesn't really look right. I need a wig.
Yeah, and then I think he also knew that Jodie would probably tell the police about the baldness.
Yeah. So he was
needed
like,
something to cover his scalp. Yeah.
he's like, I'm going to be resourceful in this situation, and I'm going to make myself a wig from the ingredients that I have laying around.
That's another weak point of the book, I think, because how realistic does it look when you carve off somebody's scalp with the hair attached?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they put it on their bald head. How? Like how? Like why does no one notice that?
I mean, even like a party shop wig looks fake. If you're
Yeah.
rolling around with someone else's scalp on your head, you're getting clocked.
Yeah. And I wasn't. You know how he kept referring to himself as very attractive. I look so sexy. I must be. All the guys are all like would be drooling over me. I don't know whether that was just his imagination.
I genuinely think it has to be, because there would be. I don't think it would be in any way realistic.
Because there was a gay couple that he encounters.
Yeah,
with the
and
dog.
they kind of clock him for being weird.
Yeah. So I think it's just in his head that he thinks he's attractive. Yeah.
So I think it's implied that he's really not pulling off the look.
Yeah.
Essentially. But yes, while he's trying to track Jodie and Andy, he gets more and more desperate as time goes on. Because he's mad at the rest of the group, but also he's motivated to keep his family and his fiancée alive. So just skipping over a little bit of the plot, because I don't think we need to go into all of it.
Yeah.
He kills a couple of people along the way, and he decides, if I can't find Jodie, I'm just going to find an approximation of Jodie. And I'm going to beat her to the point where she's basically unrecognizable.
Yep.
So that when I bring her to the group, they won't know.
And none of the other members have actually seen Jodie up close.
Yeah,
So
no, because
they
it
wouldn't be
was
able to
it was
tell.
night, when the initial encounter happened. So he's the only one who really got a good look at her. So that's essentially his plan.
And also, in the crime scene when at Jodie's friend's house, Jodie left behind her purse.
Yeah, that had
And
her
it had
ID.
his ID on it with her address. So they knew where she lived.
Yes.
So I think after Simon procured this Jodie replacement, he goes in to find his gang. And I can't remember how that ended, actually. Because I keep getting mixed up with the actual ending of the book.
He's making these tapes the entire time that he's kind of parading around and doing these terrible acts and killing random people in order to try and get closer to Jodie and Andy. And he's leaving these tapes to use as kind of his confession.
That's right.
Because he's thinking, well, if they don't believe this, if they don't believe that this makeshift Jodie is the actual Jodie, then I'm just going to go out in a blaze of glory, and this will be my confession. So eventually he finds a girl that resembles Jodie enough, and he loads up with as many guns as he can, and he goes to meet his group. And then we get a sharp cut back to Jodie and Andy and Sharon and Jack, who have returned home.
Because the police told them they found the...
Yes, the police have said, we found who we believe is responsible for these murders, and they've all basically been incinerated, apart from the makeshift Jodie, who... I believe she passed away.
She did, I think. She did get away from the house, but she I think died at the end.
Yeah, and the house contained Simon's fiance as well as the rest of the members of the group. So,
and the voice recording accounted for all number of bodies.
Yes, correct.
So they confirmed that the entire gang, including Simon, was dead now. So that's why they returned home, and they think everything's over. Yeah,
they essentially get that. Yep, it's safe.
Yep.
They all return home, and Jodie realizes that while her group essentially has been hiding out in the motel, someone's been in the house. Because Simon did go back, and he did some pretty creepy stuff. He went through her drawers, he slept in her bed, and she doesn't feel right. Everyone else has gone to bed at this point. Like, everything's over. She just can't sleep. She's been through so much. She's about to sleep in her bed, and she thinks, I can't sleep where this horrific person has slept and has dirtied all my things and made me feel unclean.
Yeah, by the way, if you haven't mentioned, another big motive for Simon to chase Jodie was not just because of his fiancée being held hostage by his gang. He had this sick, twisted obsession towards Jodie.
Yes, yeah. Which, that is something that I'm going to talk about later as well when it comes to, like, the motives of the people.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, he's very obsessed with her. So he went through her drawers, he slept in her bed. And Jodie feels, understandably, incredibly uncomfortable with this. So she's walking around the house just kind of trying to figure out the best place to sleep. She doesn't want to sleep on the couch. She doesn't want to sleep in Andy's room. She goes to the couch and she's like, this doesn't feel right. I'm just going to sleep in Andy's room. It feels better to be closer to him, like knowing he's safe as well. And she turns around and she notices that the nightlight in the bathroom it's much more visible than it used to be. She realizes that door is just, it's a little wider open than it should have been. So, being a resourceful woman, she tiptoes to her bedroom and she grabs her little gun. Because she is brave. She is so brave. And instead of running and hiding, she just decides, let's deal with this head on.
Let me get my gun.
Yeah, let me get my gun. So she ends up going into the bathroom and there's nothing there. So she kind of she takes a couple deep breaths and she's looking at herself in the mirror and she thinks, Jesus, like, the last few days have been incredibly terrifying and horrifying.
Intense.
And she's just kind of gathering herself a little bit, going back through everything that they've been through, how close she feels now to Andy, how much Sharon has stepped in to really support her family and help her through it. And she's just taking a couple deep breaths and she decides, okay, it's over. Let me go back to bed. So she turns around and she opens the door.
There he was.
When I tell you I've never been jump scared by a book before. Because in the book, she opens the door and then the sentence was, the man in the hallway smiled. And I swear my heart sank to my butt. Because these are good people. And as much as I acknowledge that this is a splatterpunk book, it's a horror book, I don't want anything bad to happen to them because I've grown to like them so much. That was this. I had to put my Kindle down and just take a breather.
Yeah.
Because it floored me. Absolutely floored me. So Jody attempts to shoot Simon, but Simon's too quick. He grabs the gun. Her screaming has woken her dad up, and Simon empties the gun into Jack.
Which is also stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not very good planning on his part.
Yeah.
But
no, stupid as in terms of how it was written. He got 6 bullets, point blank, and then he ends up not dead.
Maybe Simon's a very bad shot. You never know. Like the stormtroopers.
Anyway, we at that point in time we assumed that he was dead, or at least incapacitated.
Yeah. Obviously, the ensuing struggle it's quite violent and quite sexual. Jody, she experiences some really horrific stuff at the hands of Simon. Luckily, she doesn't get... she is assaulted by him, but it's not as bad as it could have been. Let's say that. Simon is unaware at this time that Andy is actually in the house. He's unaware of that fact. Andy gets the gun that has been emptied into Jack's chest, and he reloads it, and he goes to confront Simon. Throughout the whole book, really, Andy has had a huge crush on Jody.
Yep.
And Simon kind of uses this to advantage.
Yep.
And says, don't you want to mess around? No one needs to know. And at this point, Andy hesitates. He could shoot Simon, but he hesitates. Part. Yes.
So frustrating. Yep.
And that was one of the moments in this book when I felt so sad. I'm like, this Jody and Andy have such a connection that they've built together from going through these horrible experiences, and yet he hesitates. Anyway, eventually Jody gets knocked out, and when she awakens, Andy has been decapitated.
That was such a graphic scene.
It was, and it really broke my heart because I'm like, this is a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Granted, his last moments were horrible, and I'm thinking, you idiot. Like, if you didn't hesitate, you would be alive right now. But still, it's absolutely heartbreaking. It really shocked me because, number one, Jack's presumably dead at this point. And number two, now Andy is gone. And it's just Jody trapped with Simon. And he's gearing up to do some pretty horrid stuff. But luckily, he doesn't get the chance because Jack, he regains consciousness long enough to shoot Simon dead. which was very satisfying.
It was, yeah.
And the book ends with Jack calling for help and Jody and Jack waiting for the police to arrive. And they're musing to themselves about if Sharon will be the first person to attend the scene, because Sharon made it very clear in the early book that she gets quite queasy when dealing with dead bodies.
Oh, yeah.
And so they make a little joke about, wouldn't want to clean up after that, you know?
Yeah.
So that is the full story, mostly, of Endless Night by Richard Laymon. What did you think?
Well, first of all, it was a very clever trick. Because Simon's perspective, like Simon's POV part, it's not reliable because it's literally him just talking into the voice recorder.
Yeah,
and
it's his
he knew that
account.
But towards the end, he was thinking. He was thinking ahead.
He was.
He said there were like 5 bodies or something in total. There would be 5 people in the basement or something like that when he goes in, shoots the blazing. But he secretly brought one of the other victims that he killed earlier in the book
Yes,
to
so that
masquerade.
the count would be correct.
So the count would be correct. So he knew that the police will go through all the recording, and they will all think he's dead.
Yes.
So he's basically free. So he can do whatever he wants. No one's chasing him. No one's going to come after him.
And during that time, he hides out in the attic at Jodie's house, waiting for them to come home.
It was a very clever twist. I really liked that. It was, yeah. Now, I did say there was another alternate ending that I thought it would happen before the very end of the book. Because when Simon was trying to find Jodie's replacement, he finds he fakes that his car's broken down, waiting for another person to, just pull over and try to help him. Yeah. And there were a couple, a man and a woman with a girl, obviously, that can be replaced as Jodie. And he kills the parents, and he grabs that girl. Yeah. I thought at that point Simon was trying to trick the reader or the police that he's grabbed someone else. But I thought that was the actual Jodie.
I remember you mentioning that, and I thought, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah. So I thought that man and the woman driving the car is Jack and Sharon. Yeah. And Andy is, I don't know, somewhere mysteriously gone, like he's just off somewhere. And they were heading home, but then they saw Simon in trouble, wants to help out, comes out of the car, and, bang, bang. So I thought it would be very horrible ending, sad ending, with no catharsis or no actual repercussion for Simon. Yeah. But thinking back, that wasn't really realistic, because Jack and Sharon would never just approach a random stranger.
Not in the circumstance that they were in. They're very, very clever people.
They're very, and cautious as well. They've been cautious the entire trip they were away. But
yes, they were.
Anyway, in a way, I really liked how it turned out. It was very satisfying, like you said, when he got shot by the shotgun right in front of his face.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I think, from what I've read online, a lot of people, they're kind of split down the middle with the ending, how it was left ambiguous as to whether Jack actually does survive in time. Okay. Which, in my head, he's fine.
He seemed fine, even after got shot multiple times.
Yeah, because he was losing consciousness a bit at the end of the book. He was definitely not thinking terribly clearly, but guess what? The book ended there, and I get to make up what happens next. And he lived happily ever after, and Jodie is also okay. She went to therapy, and she's living a happy, healthy life.
For me personally, I think he might die in the hospital.
Well, that's your decision.
Yeah, losing too much blood and whatnot.
Yeah, because he did get shot a lot.
But no one knows. Yeah.
What did you think about Andy's death? It hurt, didn't it?
It hurt, but as a splatterpunk genre, that decapitation was a cherry on top. It was so gory. It was
a very, very gory, very violent scene, and I think that's one of the things about splatterpunk books that I enjoy, because the stakes are high. Even a character that you have, spent all this time growing close to and understanding and building backstory for, they could still die at any moment.
Yeah, and the fact that when Jodie regains consciousness, Simon sort of plays with the decapitated head and trying to talk to Jodie as if he's Andy, saying, "Oh, Jodie, wake up!" And when she looks at it, it's just the head. Yeah, I loved it. I love the gore.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit is the Krulls themselves, and I think this is something that it's not really seen enough in media. I enjoy bad guys that don't have a tragic backstory. They're just bad because they're bad.
Yeah, and they're definitely psychopaths as well.
Oh, absolutely. They have no mercy. There's definitely it's detailed through the book. There's a heavy sexual element to the reason that they kill people, but there's also, it's kind of just for the thrill of it, because they'll kill people that they're not interested in sexually at all. One of Simon's main motivators in finding Jodie is the fact that he is attracted to her. Yeah. But also, he has no problem just killing people for the fun of it.
And another thing, the what, total 12 members in total in the gang?
I can't remember the exact number, but
Yeah, I mean, some of them are dead even before the book started, but
Yeah.
there are like half a dozen active members. But the thing is, I mean, there had to be psychopaths, right? I mean, what they do is just pure evil. But what are the chances during their school years?
that so many of them
Yeah, there's
met
so many
each
of them are
other.
psychopaths and have
Yeah.
no sense of regret or any sense of morality. They end up in the same place and create a group that just
completely
goes out and kill random
unrealistic.
people.
And another big plot point that I struggled with was during one of his monologues, Simon mentions that it's very easy to get away with murder. You just have to kill people that are strangers. But later
Yeah.
in the book, he details that Tom, who is essentially the de facto leader of the cult,
Yeah.
one of their kills was Tom's mother.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think there would be any way for you to realistically hide from the scrutiny that you would face
That's
from that murder.
And they did not just kill her; they just
Yeah,
defiled her like in any way possible, like they could think of.
I'm like, there would be people following up on that, I think. As well, like, when their whole thing is, we only kill strangers. Okay, great. But you actively threatened Simon with the fact that you're going to kill his fiancée and his two sisters. Maybe the police would think that somewhat suspicious.
Yeah. I mean, there are obviously plot holes. We don't read it.
Oh, huge plot
yeah,
holes.
there are a lot of plot holes, but we don't read it for those. It's just I
It's
think
fun.
the Splatterpunk genre in general is not really focusing on how realistic things are anyway.
Yeah, it's more just the thrill of it, the
just the
adrenaline
thrill.
rush, the suspense,
Which
the
they've
tension.
done wonderfully in this book.
Yeah, Richard Laymon really does not give the reader many chances to kind of breathe throughout the story. It's go 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 all the time.
Oh, speaking of, what did you think of that middle section of the book where, like you said, quote unquote, false sense of security to the characters? Like that part, how did you read that part?
The entire time I was reading it, I was just waiting for something bad to happen.
Yeah. I mean,
One of
something's
the
bound to go wrong.
yeah, one of the things that this book makes very clear early on is that nowhere is safe.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if at the start of the book, like if you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're gone. It has nothing to do with, the good people prevail. It's just if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're gonna get got, and nowhere is safe.
I understand Richard Laymon wanted to build the characters and give more backstories and make these characters look more realistic and relatable. But I think that whole scene in the desert and going out to have lunch, breakfast, whatever at a restaurant, doing that gun shooting practice and everything, I think maybe it could have trimmed down a little. I mean, it was
absolutely.
a bit of a grind for me to go through. And the thing is, because the whole time I was reading it, I was on the edge of the chair. Like I knew something was going to happen, but nothing really happens during that time.
Yeah, I'm like, hurry it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we got some tension to have here.
Maybe that was intentional, but I mean, was it
I
really
think
necessary? I don't know.
It was definitely for character building purposes.
Yeah.
But I think that could have been left out because they did have that long segment where they were just practicing shooting things, and it does make sense. I mean, in the later book when Andy now knows how to reload and shoot a gun.
Yeah.
Not that he does it.
Idiot.
Such a dummy. But yeah, I think it definitely could have been trimmed down for brevity, just to make it a little bit tidier.
What was that?
What?
Were you singing?
No, I was just expressing myself.
And building up on that Sharon character arc, I think she's the weakest character. Even though I really liked her, as a character. But
Yeah.
either Laymon could have built more so that she can be more involved in the main plot, or if you really think about it, if you just leave her out of the whole picture, I mean, it doesn't really affect the whole, like, the main plot or the thrill of it.
Yeah, well, remember last week when we were talking about Cuckoo's Calling, and I made mention of the fact that I genuinely believe that all these characters have their own lives and their own struggles and different day-to-day things that they're dealing
Did
with.
you think so with Sharon as well?
Sharon did not exist outside of the narrative.
Yeah,
Sharon
that's right.
was essentially, if she wasn't on the page, she was a void. Like, she
Yeah,
didn't really have much to her. She was very, like, don't get me wrong, she's a very likable character.
Yeah, she is,
It's just
exactly.
that she wasn't terribly fleshed out.
Yeah, and I felt like she's not really sort of fit into the whole book snugly. Like, I felt like she's just floating around just to give some extra layer of character building, but that didn't really work for me, at least.
I think there was that element of the chemistry between Jack and Sharon being kind of played up as like, oh, we're going to be a big happy family now. You know, this is the ending that you probably want and you're not going to get. But yeah, I think as a character, she was definitely the weakest. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about this book?
In spoiler section, not really. I think we can hop out of the fence.
Oh.
Is there anything else you want to discuss in spoiler section?
No, not really. I think I'm pretty solid with it. Like, I think we spent a long time focusing on the plot holes of this book.
Yeah.
But I think it really did not at all detract from the enjoyment of it.
Nah, not at all. It didn't really affect the enjoyment of it. Of reading it. Yeah.
It's a fun thing to think about after the book has ended. But trust me, while you're actually reading it,
that's right.
Nothing will break your immersion from it.
Yeah, nah.
Because
that's true.
It is so fast paced. The tension is amazing. It's incredibly thrilling.
But all these plot holes, while I was reading it, it never occurred to me to even think about it. So.
No, it's only something that I kind of mused on afterwards when I was thinking about like different notes to write about the reading experience. But as your first Splatterpunk, what did you think?
Yeah, this was my first Splatterpunk. I loved it. It was very, very fun. It's very enjoyable.
It's a great short little read when you just need something it's not terribly deep, you know.
And I like it because it's not just the gore or the thrill or, you know, the whole horror aspect of the book. The plot twist was actually unexpected, and I think it was done very cleverly.
Yeah.
Which was very satisfying. Yeah.
Jodie is my number one girl. I really fell in love with her as a character, and I think just the strength of her morals and the fact that she was like, I'm not leaving anyone behind, you know. Yeah, I will do whatever I can in my power. She was just incredibly lovable character.
I agree. So, what's the verdict? Dosage. So just as a reminder, we're doing our own rating system called Dosage from top to bottom. It's devoured, obsessed, satisfying, average, grind, and existential regret. Where would you put this book?
Oh my god, do you even have to ask? It's devoured for me. Number one, like, okay.
Yeah, it was stupid asking that, actually.
It's my favorite genre. Number two, I consumed this book in such a short amount of time, and I had a great time doing it. Yes, there's a lot of flaws to it, but it was so much fun. And for me, a book doesn't have to be supremely well written to be enjoyable.
It did perfectly what it was meant to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear your ranking though.
I also devoured it. I put it at D.
Yeah.
This is the most fun book I've ever read second half of 2026. I mean, albeit on like 3 or 4 so far, but still. I think it's going to end up in top 3 or 5 this year. Top reads.
It's just fun. It's just
fun. It's just unputdownable, literally.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. And it starts off almost right in the middle of it, and you just keep going until that final end scene.
Yeah, that opening, it's a masterclass in starting. Like, no warm-up, no filler.
Absolutely. We don't even get an introduction. It's just my best friend got stabbed. Now I gotta get out of here.
And what made it better was the Simon himself, the character. I loved him, like as an antagonist of a book.
Yes, because he's like, he doesn't have a grand motive. He's just a bad guy.
Yeah, he's just a bad guy who just wants to get what he wants.
He wants violence. He wants gore.
Yeah,
and that's it.
He's totally crazy, horrible person, but he's definitely memorable, and his motives felt very genuine. Like, yeah.
And I love that. Like I say, let evil people just be bad. They don't have to have a tragic backstory that explains why they behave this way, because it never justifies it. Just let them be bad.
That's right.
I love it.
And it's very new to me to read about a character like this, because there's a lot of character building in longer books for obvious reasons, but he just has such a horrible personality, like the kind
he's deplorable.
you love to hate.
Yes.
Yes. It's just such a memorable character, and then the fact that you can read his perspective, it was very good.
Yeah, he's one sick puppy, let me tell you.
Oh, it's one sick twisted little puppy.
Yeah.
And Jodie also, definitely worth rooting for. She's tough, smart, she fights back. Not a typical, female victim in a horror novel.
She's like the ideal final girl, really. She's just perfect. Loved her.
I think Endless Night was the perfect gateway drug.
Yeah.
For me.
Your first real
intro. First Splatterpunk. Yeah.
Yes.
It did exactly what a great gateway should. It was thrilling, very gory, adrenaline-soaked blast that left me hungry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just as a quick PSA though, we haven't really got into the nitty-gritty of just how gory and violent and sexual this book is.
Yeah.
So be mindful of those themes if you do decide that this is a book that you want to read. It does have some pretty heavy,
very
vivid imagery in it.
Yeah.
So just be prepared. If that's not something that you feel you're capable of engaging with, I would advise not to. But if that is your kind of thing, you're gonna have a blast.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Now, you got to recommend me more Splatterpunks. What next one should I read?
Well, I've already given you some recommendations.
I think the next one will be... I'm going to take a little break from horror, because I do have to catch up on a lot of books. But next one would be Tender is the Flesh, like I mentioned to you.
Yeah, Tender is the Flesh...
It's not really a Splatterpunk, is it?
Isn't a Splatterpunk, no, but...
Yeah, it's just horror.
It's...
dystopian horror.
Yeah, dystopian horror, and it leaves you with a very unsettling vibe. Because you enjoyed Endless Night so much, the one that I would recommend for you if you were looking for something similar is Gone to See the Riverman.
Oh, Gone to See the Riverman? Yeah.
Mainly, it's got a completely different vibe. It's not as action-packed, but I think because you enjoyed Simon's perspective so much, being put in the mind of someone who is just completely irredeemable, I think this is a great book to carry on from.
Does it read very differently to Endless Night, or?
Yes, it does. It reads very differently. The narrative structure is completely different. And it does have some of the paranormal elements that you tend to dislike. But I think one of the real benefits of Gone to See the Riverman is just the protagonist and how her character is developed, because things are revealed over time that aren't initially available to the reader.
Oh, okay.
And
I love that thing. I love that thing in the book.
And it really slowly changes your perspective.
Yeah.
And
I like that in a book.
Yeah. So I think I would recommend you try that one next.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say about this book before we move on to talking about what we're reading next week?
No, I think I pretty much covered everything. It was such a fun read.
It was.
And if I haven't said earlier, thanks for recommending it.
I'm so glad that you liked it.
It was a perfect book to read at a perfect timing.
Yes, I'm so glad. Now, would you like to do the honor of telling people what our next read is going to be.
Are we really doing the book that I'm thinking?
Yeah. Because I'm being very brave. I'm just like Jodie. I can do hard things.
Well, next week we'll do Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir.
We're going to do it. And I will probably have tissues stuffed up my nose the entire episode. So
Have you started reading the book, by the way?
I haven't. Because
Do you think you can finish the whole thing in a week? It's not that short of a read.
I can do anything. I'm so
Alright.
powerful when it comes to reading.
Okay.
I reckon I can do it.
All right. But I am warning you. It's even more emotional than the movie.
I'm ready. I think I can do it.
Don't tell me I didn't warn you about it.
Yeah.
And blame me again.
Yeah. Next week, it is very possible that we will do a video recording as well so that you guys can see me without any eyebrows. Post finishing this
Just
book.
take a photo of it. I'll make that the episode cover of this week, next week.
Shaved eyebrows and tissues stuffed up my nose.
But I mean, I have a feeling that there is still a chance that you might not be able to finish it because you just don't want to continue reading after certain scenes.
If that happens, I feel
We'll
like
do something
we'll
else
still,
if that happens.
If that happens, I feel like we'll still be able to discuss it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and then
And I
I'd
feel
be
like I'll
able
get-
to give my feedback on why I stopped and why I
Yeah.
couldn't continue.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I have a feeling that I'll be very nerdy next week as well.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
excited. And terrified. My eyebrows are shaking.
I told you I read I when I was reading it I cried as
Yeah.
well. So I mean,
Yeah.
you really have to be prepared.
I'm ready for it.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think we're all good.
Yeah. Oh, we almost talked 2 hours about Endless Night.
I know.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
We did,
Yeah.
and I did describe almost the entirety of the book because I
Yeah,
was so
which
excited
I wasn't
about telling
expecting you would, but like.
I'm like, I gotta talk about it.
Anyway, that's your dose for this week. Take as needed and see you next dose. Bye.
Bye.